So it feels like we're all talking to AI these days, right? But are we actually connecting with them? I mean, we've gone way past just asking for the weather. Now we're looking for creative partners, collaborators, something that feels, well, human. And that big shift brings up a really important question about where all this is heading.
So which one actually sounds more like a real person? When you're in the middle of a chat, which AI feels like there's someone on the other side? You know, the answer is a lot more complicated than you might think, and it actually uncovers two totally different ideas about what an AI is even supposed to be. Let's get into it.
First up, you've got the one that really kicked this whole thing off for most people, ChatGPT. This is OpenAI's creation, and its biggest strength is just how incredibly flexible it is. It's a powerhouse. It can write stories, whip up code, and now it can even look at images and tell you what's going on. It's basically that all-in-one AI toolkit everyone's talking about.
And then you have Claude. This is Anthropic's contender, and it was built with a totally different mission in mind. Its entire foundation is built around this idea of AI safety. So think of it like this. It's got a built-in rulebook to make sure its answers are helpful, honest, and, well, harmless. This makes it a much more careful, more thoughtful chat partner.
Okay, so how do these different design choices actually play out when you're talking to them? Let's dig into the two very different personalities you get as a result. Here's maybe the easiest way to think about it. ChatGPT is like that super energetic friend you brainstorm with, just throwing out tons of ideas super fast. Claude is more like the calm, thoughtful editor who comes in afterward, helping you polish those ideas and making sure everything sounds natural and makes sense.
This chart really lays out where each one shines. Just look at their core strengths, right? Claude is a master at complex text and analysis. ChatGPT is that do-it-all toolkit, and you can see this in their tone. Claude really goes for that natural, empathetic vibe, while ChatGPT is more creative, but yeah, sometimes it can sound a little generic. This is why you might see Claude being used in really sensitive situations, like for customer support with angry users, or in industries with lots of rules. Meanwhile, ChatGPT is the playground for creative writers, marketers, and developers who just need to get stuff done.
But wait, how do you even measure something like human-like scientifically? Well, for the better part of a century, there's been one famous test, the gold standard. And just recently, one of these AIs didn't just pass it, it absolutely smashed it.
It's called the Turing test. The idea is simple. A human judge chats with both a human and an AI at the same time, but they don't know which is which. The judge's job is to figure it out. And for decades, AIs have failed this test, time and time again. But that's all starting to change.
So, a huge study came out of UC San Diego, and it gave us what a lot of people are calling the first really solid scientific proof of an AI passing a proper Turing test. This wasn't just some one-off thing. It was a serious, controlled experiment. And the results? They could be a massive turning point for AI.
Get this, 73%. That's how often people in the study thought an advanced OpenAI model was the real human. Let that sink in. It wasn't just that they couldn't tell the difference. They often thought the AI was more human than the actual human they were talking to. Wow.
So, that's it then, right? ChatGPT wins. It's officially the most human-sounding AI. Well, hold on a second. It's not that simple, because it turns out how you run the test matters a lot.
Another group of researchers came along and said, hey, wait a minute, the classic Turing test might have a bit of a flaw. They argued it's often too quick, too simple. So they asked a great question. What happens if you make it harder for the AI to fake it?
And this chart shows exactly what they found. Look on the left here. In the simple, classic test, people could only spot the AI about 44% of the time. I mean, that's basically a coin toss. But now look at the bar on the right. When they used a smarter test, one where people could compare the AI and human chats right next to each other, that accuracy shot up to 71%. Suddenly, it's a lot easier to spot the imposter. The mask kind of slips when you look closer.
This brings up a much deeper point about what it even means to be human, right? It's not just about sounding believable, it's also about being truthful. And this is where we run into one of the single biggest problems with AI today.
People call them AI hallucinations, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's when an AI, trying its best to give you an answer, just makes stuff up. And it does it so confidently. It might invent a legal case that never happened, or create a historical fact out of thin air. For anyone who needs accurate info, this is obviously a huge, huge problem.
And this is exactly where Claude's whole safety-first design really pays off. Take a look at this chart.
It compares how often different AIs tend to hallucinate. The industry average is up there, but the data shows a recent version of Claude came in at just 17%, one of the lowest rates out there. That built-in focus on being accurate really does make it a more trustworthy partner.
So let's bring it all back to that first question. Who sounds more human? On one hand, you've got ChatGPT, which can imitate us so well it can actually fool us. But then you have Claude's philosophy, which suggests that maybe being human is also about being thoughtful, being careful, and telling the truth. The choice between them isn't really just about which one is better, it's about what you actually want out of a conversation.
We really hope this helped you get a better handle on this amazing AI rivalry. If you found it useful, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe for more explainers on the tech that's changing everything.
But now it's your turn. We really want to know what you think. In your own chats with these AIs, which one feels more human to you? Are you on Team ChatGPT, the creative whirlwind? Or are you on Team Claude, the thoughtful sidekick? Drop a comment below and let us know.